Kim Yoo-Jung's Dear Ex, the project that redefines her career forever. Imagine a world where the spotlight's glow is not a beacon of dreams, but a scalpel dissecting the soul, revealing the raw, unyielding ambition that devours everything in its path. What if one actress's performance could redefine the very essence of stardom's seductive poison? In the shimmering yet treacherous landscape of contemporary Korean cinema, Dear Ex emerges not merely as another entry in the annals of melodrama, but as a pivotal milestone heralding a bold new chapter in Kim Yoo-Jung's illustrious career. This upcoming 2025 TVING original series, helmed by the visionary co-directors Lee Eung-bok, renowned for his masterful blend of fantasy and human frailty in works like Goblin and Mr. Sunshine, and Park So-Hyun, promises to catapult the 25-year-old actress into uncharted territories of complexity and depth. Kim, who first captivated audiences as a child prodigy in 2003 with her debut in the family drama Yellow Handkerchief, has long been a chameleon of the screen, effortlessly shifting from the innocent bloom of youth in Love in the Moonlight to the fierce resilience of a high school avenger in Angry Mom. Yet, with Dear Ex, scripted by the incisive Choi Ja-Won, she steps into the role of Baek Ah-Jin, a character that feels less like a performance and more like a mirror held up to the industry's glittering underbelly. This project isn't just a vehicle for Kim's evolution. It's a declaration that she is no longer the ingénue whispering secrets of the heart, but a force commanding the shadows of power itself. As viewers, we can't help but feel a thrill of anticipation mingled with unease. How will this once wide-eyed star navigate the moral ambiguities that Baek embodies, and in doing so, etch her name deeper into the pantheon of K-drama icons? At the heart of Dear Ex lies Baek Ah-Jin, a top-tier actress whose porcelain facade conceals a labyrinth of calculated maneuvers and suppressed fury, making her portrayal a profound artistic meditation on the intoxicating elixir of power within the entertainment realm. From her earliest days, scarred by the unrelenting grip of domestic violence, a backstory that echoes the silent epidemics plaguing countless households worldwide, as documented in South Korea's own national surveys revealing over 20% of women experiencing intimate partner violence. Baek learns to weaponize empathy, peering into the psyches of those around her like a predator assessing prey. Kim Yoo-Jung infuses this origin with a haunting subtlety, her eyes flickering with the ghost of vulnerability that never quite fades, reminding us that true power often sprouts from the fertile soil of pain. It's a performance that demands not bombast, but precision. Every micro-expression, every pause pregnant with unspoken strategy, builds a portrait of dominance that feels achingly real. One can't shake the visceral chill of recognition here. Power, in Baek's hands, isn't a crown bestowed, but a blade forged in isolation, cutting through alliances as easily as it carves out empires. This artistic choice elevates the series beyond mere thriller tropes, inviting us to confront how the allure of control in high-stakes environments like show business can morph into a solitary throne, where victory tastes as bitter as defeat. Delving deeper into Baek's unyielding ambition, Kim's interpretation transforms what could be a one-dimensional villainess into a symphony of layered motivations, where the pursuit of ascent becomes both a siren's song and a siren's curse. Baek Ah-Jin doesn't claw her way to the top through brute force. She orchestrates it with the finesse of a maestro, leveraging her beauty and burgeoning fame to ensnare directors, rivals, and lovers in webs of obligation and desire. This mirrors the very architecture of K-entertainment's power structures, where, as evidenced by industry reports from organizations like the Korea Creative Content Agency, aspiring stars often navigate a gauntlet of favoritism and strategic alliances just to secure a single audition slot. Yet, Kim imbues Baek's drive with a tragic poetry. Her ambition isn't born of greed alone, but from a primal need to rewrite a narrative of victimhood into one of authorship. Watching her on screen, one senses the weight of that internal forge. The late nights memorizing not just lines, but the tells of human weakness, the calculated smiles that mask a heart armored against betrayal. It's profoundly moving, this dance on ambition's tightrope, evoking a quiet empathy for a woman whose every step forward exacts a toll on her humanity. In a genre saturated with redemption arcs, Baek's relentless forward march feels refreshingly defiant, a reminder that ambition, unchecked, can illuminate as much as it incinerates, leaving audiences to ponder their own hungers in the quiet aftermath of each episode. The shadowy undercurrents of show business, as refracted through Baek Ah-Jin's lens, form the pulsating core of Dear Ex, offering an unflinching artistic dissection of the industry's nocturnal rituals, where glamour and grotesquerie entwine like lovers in a fatal embrace. Baek navigates a world where paparazzi flashes are both currency and curse, where endorsements hinge on scandals suppressed, and where the line between public persona and private torment blurs into oblivion. Realities starkly outlined in exposés like those from the BBC on the exploitative contracts binding K-pop idols, which often extend up to 13 years and dictate everything from dating prohibitions to caloric intakes as low as 800 per day. Kim Yoo-Jung captures this duality with mesmerizing nuance. Her Baek gliding through red carpet galas with the grace of a panther, only to unravel in solitary moments that betray the fractures beneath. The face she presents to the camera is a masterpiece of artifice, a glossy veneer polished by years of survival instincts honed in childhood's crucible. Yet it's in these private fissures, a trembling hand after a triumphant speech, a gaze lingering too long on a forgotten family photo, that the true artistry shines. It stirs a profound melancholy in the viewer, this glimpse into the nocturnal toll of stardom, how the applause that feeds the ego simultaneously starves the spirit, turning icons into ghosts, haunting their own reflections. Dear Ex doesn't glorify this darkness, it alchemizes it into catharsis, forcing us to reckon with the entertainment machine's voracious appetite, where the cost of visibility is often invisibility to one's authentic self. What elevates Baek Ah-Jin's arc to timeless resonance is the series' deft exploration of the eternal bargain struck in the pursuit of fame, a Faustian pact where souls are traded for spotlights, a theme as perennial as literature's own cautionary tales, from Icarus's melted wings to Shakespeare's Macbeth, whose vaulting ambition birthed both kingdoms and coffins. In Kim's hands, this trade-off manifests not as moral sermonizing, but as an intimate elegy for the self-erasure required to thrive in fame's Colosseum. Baek's manipulations, seducing a producer with whispered vulnerabilities that are anything but, or dismantling a colleague's career with leaked whispers, are portrayed with a chilling elegance that underscores the universality of such compromises. Drawing from verified insights into K-drama production, where actors like Kim undergo rigorous emotional immersion techniques, as shared in her own interviews post-Backstreet Rookie, her commitment lends Baek an authenticity that transcends cultural borders. One feels a pang of reluctant admiration for this anti-heroine, her victories Pyrrhic monuments to resilience, yet laced with the sorrow of isolation. It's a portrayal that lingers like a half-remembered dream, compelling us to question the price tags on our own aspirations. In an era where social media amplifies the illusion of effortless ascent, statistics from Pew Research indicating that 70% of young adults view influencer fame as attainable yet unattainable. Baek's story becomes a beacon, illuminating the hidden ledgers where glory's gains are tallied against personal perdition. Layering further into this artistic tapestry, the romance threaded through Dear Ex serves as a poignant counterpoint to Baek's armored exterior, humanizing her ambitions while underscoring the profound ironies of vulnerability in a realm built on facades. Enter Yoon-jun, the enigmatic counterpart whose own scars intersect with hers in a dance of tentative trust and inevitable fracture. a dynamic co-written by Choi Ja-Won to echo the push-pull of real celebrity entanglements, much like the documented whirlwind affairs that have punctuated K-entertainment headlines without devolving into tabloid fodder. Kim's chemistry in these scenes crackles with restrained fire. Her Baek, so adept at puppeteering others, falters in the face of genuine connection, her defenses cracking like fine china under an unintended touch. This romantic underbelly adds a layer of aching tenderness to the thriller's pulse, evoking the bittersweet truth that love, in the shadows of power, often arrives as both salve and sabotage. As spectators, we're left with a cocktail of emotions, hope flickering against the encroaching dusk of doubt, a reminder that even the most formidable hearts yearn for anchors amid the storm. It's this emotional granularity that cements Kim's evolution, transforming Dear X from genre exercise to a character study worthy of Ingmar Bergman's introspective gaze, where intimacy becomes the ultimate battleground for the soul's sovereignty. Beyond the interpersonal, the series' visual lexicon, crafted under Lee Eung-bok's signature opulent minimalism, amplifies Baek's journey as an allegory for the performative alchemy of stardom, where every frame drips with symbolic import drawn from the industry's own iconography. Mirrors abound, not as vanity's props, but as portals to fractured psyches, reflecting Baek's multiplicity in ways that recall the doppelganger motifs in Hitchcock's Vertigo, a film that similarly probed fame's disorienting mirrors. Kim, with her innate emotional acuity honed through accolades like the 2016 APAN Star Award for Best New Actress, navigates these motifs with a poise that borders on the ethereal. Her silhouette against rain-slicked Seoul streets evokes the isolation of Edward Hopper's night owls, solitary figures adrift in urban anonymity. The cinematography, verified through festival previews at Busan 2025, employs a desaturated palette punctuated by crimson accents, blood-red lipstick, a rival's scarlet gown, to symbolize the hemorrhaging authenticity fame exacts. This stylistic bravura doesn't overwhelm, it whispers, inviting contemplation on how showbiz's spectacle often masks the mundane horrors of endurance, from the 18-hour shoots that blurred days into delirium to the psychological toll quantified in studies by the Korean Entertainment Management Association, noting elevated anxiety rates among performers at 40% above national averages. Witnessing Baek's unraveling, one experiences a cathartic shudder, a validation of the hidden labors that birth our escapist delights, and a quiet awe at Kim's ability to make the abstract visceral. As Dear X unfurls its narrative coils, Baek Ah-Jin's confrontation with her own reflections, literal and metaphorical, crystallizes the artwork's thesis on the inexorable trade-offs of renown, positioning it as an evergreen parable for any epic chasing immortality through applause. Her arc, peaking in revelations that peel back layers of orchestrated personas, confronts the viewer with the stark arithmetic of aspiration. For every summit scaled, a valley of authenticity forsaken. Kim Yoo-Jung, drawing from her own trajectory, from child model in 2001's Marrying the Mafia spin-offs to the nuanced maturity of My Demon in 2023, channels this with a restraint that amplifies the tragedy, her voice modulating from silken persuasion to fractured whispers in a cadence that mirrors the industry's own rhythm of hype and hush. It's impossible not to feel the resonance here, this echo of universal dilemmas where ambition's fire warms yet scorches. Baek's ultimate gambit, a high-wire act of revenge intertwined with redemption's faint glimmer, leaves us suspended between condemnation and compassion. In a cultural moment saturated with aspirational feeds, Instagram's algorithm favoring the curated over the candid, as per 2024 MIT analyses, Dear X stands as a salve, its artistic integrity a bulwark against superficiality. Kim's portrayal doesn't just entertain, it endures, etching Baek into the lexicon of cautionary muses, urging us to weigh our chases more mindfully, long after the credits fade to black. Yet, the profundity of Baek's embodiment extends to its socio-cultural reverberations, subtly critiquing the gendered machinations of power in entertainment spheres where women, historically, barter allure for agency, a dynamic substantiated by Gender Links reports on Asian media, highlighting how 65% of female roles in K-dramas revolve around relational leverage rather than autonomous drive. Kim subverts this archetype masterfully. Baek's agency isn't derivative but defiant. Her manipulations, a reclamation of narrative control, wrested from a system that once silenced her through violence. This feminist undercurrent, woven without preachiness, infuses the role with contemporary bite, evoking parallels to real trailblazers like Park So-Hyun of Parasite fame, whose ascent shattered glass ceilings amid industry sexism. The emotional payoff is exquisite. A scene where Baek discards a prop crown in a fit of solitary rage captures the exhaustion of perpetual performance, stirring in us a fierce protectiveness laced with sorrow. It's a testament to Kim's growth, her acting no longer mimicry but invocation, summoning specters of shared human frailty that bind us across screens and borders. In weaving these threads, power's precarious perch, ambition's double-edged sword, and showbiz's spectral allure, Dear X crafts an opus that transcends its thriller romance veneer, becoming a canvas for existential inquiry into fame's Faustian fine print. Baek Ah-Jin, through Kim Yoo-Jung's luminous yet lacerating lens, emerges as more than character. She's archetype, caution, and confession rolled into one. As the series beckons us into its vortex, we're not mere observers but co-conspirators, compelled to audit our own trades in the grand bazaar of becoming. And in that invitation lies its eternal pull. A story that, like all great art, doesn't conclude but converses, echoing long into the silences between pursuits.